A survey of Oklahomans suggests there is a significant disconnect between where our kids go to school and where parents would like them to go to school. We're told 92% of Oklahoma students attend regular public schools, while a survey done this spring shows if parents have the choice, only 17% would choose to send their kids to public schools. Some lawmakers are pushing for laws that would give parents more choice, and officials with the company that conducted the survey say it appears to be a politically safe issue.
In this state, there's a lot of potential for the school choice issue to be a bridge builder for policymakers. There are no partisan lines drawn among likely voters, and many different demographics show high levels of support for school choice.
A bill that would have created a privately supported scholarship fund for students from lower income families passed the Senate last session but was defeated in the House.
Joining us now with more on this survey is Brandon Dutcher. He's the Vice President for Policy at the Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs. Brandon, thanks for coming in today.
Good to see you.
First of all, for those who don't know, explain what OCPA is.
We're a think tank, public policy think tank. We research public policy issues from a viewpoint of believing in free enterprise and limited government.
Generally a conservative point of view?
Conservative think tank, not partisan, but definitely conservative.
Tell me about this project and why you all commissioned this survey.
Well, we wanted to know what public opinion was in Oklahoma on this issue of school choice, and we found that a lot of people really are pleased with the public school, but we found that they really want options as well, whether it's a charter school or a private school or even homeschooling. People want some more choices, and they even want politicians to help spur that along with vouchers or tax credits or whatever it may be.
I think it was interesting. Your survey showed that only about 50% of people said they were actually unhappy with public schools, but wow, a lot more than that said that if they had the choice, they would not send their kids to public schools.
Very interesting. Yeah, I was surprised at that margin myself. 17% said a regular public school is the best place for my kid. 83% said something else, whether it's private school, charter, homeschooling. That was an eye-opener to me that suggests the foundation is a little shaky in terms of public opinion and what they really think of the public schools.
And what this does, it supports some positions that legislators have already taken. In fact, trying to push through the legislation we just mentioned this past session just didn't quite get through, but there are going to be efforts like that and others in the next session, right?
There are, and indeed it's bipartisan. Indeed, the survey shows Democrats a little more than Republicans tend to favor this school choice measure, largely because, as we heard earlier from Democrat legislators Jabbar Shumate and Judy Easton McIntyre, it's their constituents that are really getting the short end of the stick and suffering in the worst of the worst urban schools. And so, yes, there will be measures coming up again to try to get that New Hope Scholarship Act through the legislature.
Interestingly, it's been largely Democrats, rural Democrats, who've opposed this sort of legislation. The fear is that the public schools, their public schools, are going to lose funding. How do you address that? Because that's certainly been one of the criticisms.
Right. It actually wouldn't, they wouldn't lose funding at all. The scholarship money would come from private donors, and there's no money that would be taken out of the formula. In fact, if kids in urban schools go to a private school, that's more money in the formula left over for the rural people. So they're really skittish about this, and they hear from their superintendents locally and their school board members, and there's just a lot of misinformation out there spread by the unions and others, but it's our job to educate people and get them to understand it.
Senator Judy Easton McIntyre, who supports the issue, was saying, you know what, we create this scholarship fund. The donors, yes, they get a tax break if they contribute to it, but you know that's fine. If it means better schools for the kids, it's worth it.
Right, absolutely. Not just better schools, but for many of these kids, safer schools. I mean, it's violence, it's drug infestation, and they need a life preserver and a way out.
Brandon, thank you very much for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.